Skullcandy has partnered with Bose to bring us the new Method 360 ANC earbuds, which, as you can see on the box, claim to have sound by Bose. But can Skullcandy really deliver Bose sound for only 1/3 of the price of the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds? Or is this too good to be true? Well, if you give me 5 minutes, I'll tell you everything you need to know. At first glance, you can see the Method 360 ANC look a lot like the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds. And that's because in a way, they are. They're the same mold, the same size, the same shape. Skullcandy even licensed the ear tips and fins from Bose, with Skullcandy providing the wrapping, which is made out of a cheaper, lighter plastic than something like you'd find on the QC Ultra, but they do come in several more flashy color options if that's your thing. Overall, I found them to be extremely comfortable. You get 3 sizes of ear tips and ear fins, which make for a stable, secure fit that I have to say provides a very good seal. We have a long sliding case here that houses the earbuds, one on each side, and there's a built-in carabiner clip at the top, which means you can hang it on a belt loop or backpack. For retrieving the earbuds, the right earbud is only on the right side and the left on the left side when the case is facing away from you. So it can get a bit fiddly if you're taking it out of your pocket and you try to put the earbud on the wrong side. Now, not everyone will necessarily want to wear their case or be, a walk-in advertisement for Skullcandy, but the design works well enough. One thing I will say though, I think the sliding mechanism here could have used a proper lock of some kind, because even just within a week's usage, mine start to get a little too loose over time and it just seems to slide open a little too easily. The controls are super simple. You can also remap all of those gestures within the Skullcandy IQ app, including setting up Spotify tap or tap to take a photo. My only real gripe regarding controls though, which I have seen others complain about online, is that the voice prompts here are way too loud. The voice prompts are set to full volume. You can't adjust the volume. You can't even turn them off within the app. So hopefully that's something Skullcandy fixes. You get Bluetooth 5.3 on board with fairly basic codec support. It's only AAC and SBC. Overall, I had a pretty smooth listening experience and I didn't run into any connection interruptions during my usage. The Skullcandy IQ app, which I will say basically looks like a reskinned version of the Bose Quiet Comfort app, is packed with all the same features. You can tweak the ANC strength and the strength of the transparency mode. There's also a few EQ presets and a 5-band customizable EQ. Overall, the app has a nice, simple layout that's easy to use and navigate, and it's definitely worth downloading. Battery life's solid. With ANC on, I got just under 8 hours of playback, but that does come up a bit short of Skullcandy's 9-hour claim. But with the case, you do get around 32 hours total. There is fast charging support for quick top-ups via the USB port at the bottom, but there is no wireless charging support.
Okay, pair to your phone.
Here we go. Weird, actually, I'm not hearing through the left right now. The light's on there.
Are we discovering a bug?
I think, yeah, it might have been, yeah, sorry, just cut. Remember how I said I didn't experience any connection issues? For whatever reason, the left earbud became unpaired and wasn't synced to the other. I followed the exact instructions on Skullcandy's website for how to resync the earbuds and how to factory reset both earbuds. I had to do that like 5 times in a row to get them to finally both start working again. So you might run into that issue. It was definitely a little stressful, a little frustrating. So if they do come out of sync, you might have some problems there. But mine eventually did start working again, so just keep at it. Or that's all we can recommend. I don't know. Yeah. For phone calls, I found the mic quality was just okay. My voice seemed to come through clearly, but it did sound a bit compressed and thin to my ears. If you want to hear how the mic sounds in a variety of different environments, then be sure to check out our full review on our website to listen to our full suite of mic tests. Now let's talk noise canceling. Now, Bose wasn't involved in this department because they're still keeping that secret sauce for themselves. But I gotta give it to Skullcandy here because the ANC is surprisingly good, especially for this price point. Overall, the ANC reduces the perceived loudness of outside noise by about 80%, which, while not quite as good as the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra's 84% reduction, is still more than enough to block out most background noise. Right out of the box, these are very bass-heavy earbuds. Looking at the frequency response, the Method 360 ANC come out of the gate with 20 decibels of sub-bass emphasis. Now, most of that is happening down in the sub-bass region, below 60 Hertz, which you don't really hear so much as you feel, but there is about 2 to 3 decibels more emphasis between 100 Hertz and 400 Hertz, which, if you are listening to bass-heavy tracks, I mean, let me tell you, the constant impact of kick drums can become quite fatiguing. The mids are also underemphasized. When you situate that between the bass and treble peaks, this can cause vocals to sound quieter and less detailed than you might be used to. But looking at both frequency responses here, Bose and Skullcandy's earbuds are tuned very similarly. You basically get that Bose sound with just a little extra sub bass. And this type of V-shaped signature is definitely something I think is going to be a crowd pleaser. Our virtual panel of listeners gave it a near perfect score of 4.9 out of 5. That means that most people will probably really enjoy how these sound straight out of the box. Still, that being said, I recommend playing with the custom EQ to try to tame that strong bass and raise the mids if you can. Basically, you can think of these like the budget version of the Bose QC Ultra earbuds. These earbuds are available at their promo price of $99, but only for a limited time. They will eventually increase to $129.99. And at that price point, I definitely think there is stiffer competition, especially from brands like Anker Soundcore or Earfun. So if you are looking to pick these up, do try to snag them on sale. And that's 5 minutes. If you want to see how the Method 360 ANC compares to the real deal, the Bose QC Ultra, and whether you should buck up for their better ANC and audio quality codecs, such as Snapdragon Sound, be sure to check out our full review right here.